big Hull fan. Vegas Soup says, dread it, run from it, but destiny arrives all the same. Welcome back to Where Tigers Walk. What a show we've got for you this week. We have got two very, very excited and can't believe their eyes, Hull fans, ready to talk about the Oxford game. Lee says, this is what we've missed. It's incredible stuff, and it is fully deserved. Great ball in from Ryan Giles, and what a cool finish from Ollie McBurnie. Absolutely loved it today. Thank you for being along with us. Coming up this week, are we all falling back in love with our Hull City again? The good feeling is back at the MKM. Is this as good as it's felt for a long, long time? We'll get Jack and Matty's reaction to all the tweets from the game in a second. Plus, the Ryan Giles redemption arc is fully in motion. Who'd have thought we'd be saying that 2 games into the season? Plus, we're having a look at all the farewells we've done to Hull City players over the summer and asking the team, are there any that we should personally going to miss, or actually that we're glad have gone? And finally, towards the end of the video, we're looking at the Hull City home kit and asking these guys whether it's up there with their top 3 of their favourites. Thank you very much for being back with us. 20 minutes of Hull City chat. Let's jump straight into it. Right then, Matty, where the hell do we start with that game?
Well, I honestly don't know. It was just, I mean, it was rocking before the game. Our lovely, well, we've got our announcer that's going to be back, which is very, for me, it's a bit cringe, but it worked. It worked, and the place was absolutely rocking. Great goal to start off with from Geldart. But just a roller coaster of a game. First half was absolute roller coaster. It was brilliant, fantastic. It's what we've been missing, this entertaining football, direct, zipping it about, fantastic. And then just to cap it off, that McBurnie winner in the last minute, which was outstanding, and the whole place. I even cut my leg in celebrating, so that's how much it was great. But what a fantastic start to the season. I know we kind of went over the top a little bit, and it was against Oxford, but, this is what we've been asking for the last 2 seasons. Can we please bring that every week? Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I mean, Jack, we have spoken about how quiet the MKM has been, for a number of years. Andrew says, well done, that was by far the best performance and the best atmosphere at the KC in 5 years. You could feel the genuine connection from Giles celebrating at the end, to McBurnie with his arms around Ndala and Gelhard at the final whistle. Absolutely superb job. Before we get to the football, is he right, Jack, about the atmosphere? Does it feel like we're getting the old KC, MKM, whatever we want to call it, back?
Yeah, definitely. It was a huge sound around the stadium, especially when it was just end-to-end stuff. Like, as I kept saying last season, I think it's a bit of the fans and the players who need to kind of work together to get the atmosphere going, and the players were performing, so the fans were reacting well, and it continued throughout the game. But like we discussed just moments ago, the announcer at the start doing a good afternoon brought something back to brought back some memories to the odd fan base, so that got them going. But yeah, it was non-stop singing and chanting from the whistle, and even when it was quiet, the fans were just still getting the players going. That's what we needed to get the players in the 80th minute and 90th minute to get that winner. It's just, I mean, I think fair play to the Oxford fans as well. When they got back into it, they started getting back into singing voice, and it was just a great all around game of football with the fans and the players. So it was nice to see.
Brilliant. Just to add to that, Jamie said everything just fine to place. Tigers playing before kickoff. Stands announced. Okay, it wasn't Steve Jordan, but it was close enough, and the players put in a hell of a shift. Brilliant. Right, let's focus on the football then, shall we? And that obviously starts with one man. Oh my goodness, he's gonna be that one player which fans, or the rival fans, love to hate. Mr. McBurnie, yeah,
Class.
Impressive, yeah,
class. Yeah, I mean, absolute class. I mean, he's the number 9 we've been crying out for. That we cried out for the whole of last season. I think we've probably not had a proper number 9 since we did have Delap on loan, but he's a completely different player to Delap. I mean, he's that big. not a massive target man, but he's somebody that you can play the ball into and he'll hold it up. He doesn't give the defenders a break. He was on at them all the time. He linked up play nicely. I mean, he set up. There was a pass for Geldart's goal, but then the nice little layoff for Crooks' goal. I mean, that was, for me, that was the pick of the 3 goals. That was just such a lovely goal, how it was constructed and how we zipped it about, one-touch stuff, and then Crooks with a finish at the end. I mean, if you went to bed dreaming that was going to be your debut for Hull City. Well, you know what I mean. But that was how you would plan it, wouldn't you? 2 assists, 1 goal, an absolute nuisance. The crowd singing his heart out on the last minute. Absolutely class. Yeah, brilliant all-round performance. And yeah, that's let's hope he'll bang 30-40 goals in this season.
Come on, there's getting carried away. Yeah, big up McBurnie. I'm sure it's not the first time we're going to be mentioning his name throughout this season. But I want to sort of focus on a different player for this particular episode, Jack, and it's one which, you've been quite mean to. All of you in the past, particularly Ben. He's not here; he's on holiday at the moment. LB, and this was just one of many. That's Ryan Giles crossing today was perfect, and you shouted him out, I think, last week as well when he had a decent turn against Coventry. Jack, the Ryan Giles redemption arc is in full swing. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even from pre-season, you could see there's a whole new player. He just charges down the wing all the time, committing. He's getting bodies. He's getting the team forward. And the good thing about him, he doesn't mess around taking on players on the edge of the box that are trying to weave in. He just gets the ball straight into the box, and there's always going to be 1 or 2 away. And all right, there's sometimes it just went straight across the goal and it didn't get to the man. But there's times where if McBurnie or Gelhart was just an inch further forward, they would have tapped it into the goal. I just think that's where the goals are going to come from this season. If we get the ball out to Giles, I mean, you could see that we're more direct, as we discussed last week. The balls are coming over the top. I think it's Hughes who just every single time he got the ball, he was just rifling the ball towards the right. Again, it didn't always get to the person, but I think that's how it helped get the first goal, was a ball over the top and a couple of passes, and that was it. But it was, Giles is just phenomenal this season, and he's getting He was just getting the fans wound up and everything, getting them going when we scored that first goal. And it's just nice to see a player especially from last season, who he wasn't really giving it his all, but it was just nice to see him just play for the badge.
Yeah, that left hand side. Just, I mean, we are, and a big shout out to Endala as well. He was outstanding as well. I mean, that left hand side was where we caused a lot of trouble in that second half, and yeah, I think we've knocked him a lot, but you could tell at the end he was going round to the east stand at the end, and he was like on his own, just going up to the crowd and stuff. So, fair play to the lad. We said this is what we want from him. Consistency now. Let's bang on, keep going. But yeah, he's certainly putting himself back in the good books with all the fans, I think.
Yeah, I mean, is this a sign of good coaching, do you think, Jack? I mean, it wasn't so long ago you were laughing at him at his performances at Middlesbrough. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I think what went on with Walter and then the in-between and getting started, I just don't think Ryan Giles really most players, you can tell by the body language and the way they was playing, didn't really warm up to either manager. But now that Jakovic has come in, I think he's just warmed to him. He's obviously on board with the game plan and the style of play. And I think when you get the style of play from the manager, I think the player just kind of goes, "Yep, I'm going to play like this." So I think good coaching from the new gaffer, which is good to see. And there's other players too who you can look at, like Palmer. You've got Gelhart. You've got all these players, Hughesy, Drama. Players are just looking happy to play football again, and it's just lovely to see. And you can see them all gripping the badge at the end of the game, and it was lovely to see even the bench and the staff run onto the pitch when that third goal went in. So there's a whole positive community and vibe around the club, which is just brilliant to see.
All right, cheers for that. Before we move on from the game, let's just have one last look, shall we, at that Gelhart goal. Courtesy of HullCity.com, of course.
It's just that, I suppose, just that long ball out from the back, weren't it? It was just absolute class. That was a class ball. Absolute from the back from the front. Unbelievable.
Right then.
As well. Nice to hear that.
Brilliant. Well done, Hull. Great to have some smiles back on this stadium as well. It's been a long time since that stadium felt that way. Right, on to Blackburn then. Jack, you expecting a tougher test from Blackburn than what Oxford gave you?
It's difficult to give a straight answer because it's early doors, it's early season. It's just all teams at the moment are all just trying to gel and just get something going. So it's going to be. I mean, they lost the last game. I think to was it Birmingham? They lost to.
Yeah, lost the last minute. They lost twice. Yeah, to West Brom and Birmingham.
West Brom as well. So they've not had the best start. Do they want revenge and some payback for them 2 losses? Who knows? But again, it's just 2 turns upon the day. And I think if we play like we did on Sunday, I think they're in for a right game. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this season is a season where the Tigers' lair is not a place that other teams want to play against. So fingers crossed.
All right. We were going to. Well, yeah. Let's get carried away a little bit, shall we? Brilliant results for Hull. Right. Let's have a look then at our other items coming up this week. Then we're talking about the players that have gone. Let's have a quick look at the long list then, shall we? Of players. We won't be able to read this if you're watching it on the screen, so we will read through some of these. My main question to you both is: have the club dropped the ball of any, or actually, are you glad to see the back of some of these? Let's start with Alzati, of course, off to Atlanta for just short of €2 million. Matty, are you surprised at the price there? And are you surprised at that particular bit of transfer?
I think for me, he was a bit of an enigma. I mean, he was. I don't kind of know what his role was. Don't get me wrong. He definitely brought more quality to the team in terms of that, but he didn't really get an assist. He didn't really score any goals. He did link up play nice, and I know he was a fan's favourite. But for me, to say that we got him in for a free transfer and then we've actually made a profit on that and shipped him out is I think that's good. I think that's a good bit of business, to be honest. I think he's got quality, but I'm not. He probably would fit in really nicely into this team. I just don't know what else he brings into apart from linking the play up nicely and passing it around. You know, I'll probably get a lot of people pelting me for it, but he was a luxury player that we in that midfield, and what we needed was leadership. So for me, he's no comparison to what we've got with Lundstrom at the moment. So I would much rather take Lundstrom over Alzati, and if they're playing in that similar position. So for me, I think it's been a good bit of business getting him out for the money that we needed. It means I think we could bring in a couple of players with the wage structure as well. So yeah, good bit of business.
Jack, your centre backs have gone out. Sean McLaughlin might be returning, of course, this weekend with Rovers, and Alfie Jones has made a massive impact at Borough so far. They're very pleased with him. What did you make of those 2 exits?
It was tough because they've been at the club for so long. I mean, they came from League One, and even before that, I think, and came up right till now. So it's sad to see them go. But again, I think, given the recruitment we've had now, I think we've got a strong back four, and I do not think they would get played. So I think, again, it's good business. Like I was at getting rid of 2 players that are good, and they'll get scouted by clubs like they have, and we get some money. I don't know how much we got for Alfie Jones, but we got half a mil for McLaughlin. So yeah, again, it's just one of those. They wouldn't get played. They'd just be wasting potential. So it's good that they've gone to the teams, and hopefully they can kickstart their careers and move on, because they won't have got played.
Okay.
They're very, very underrated. I think they were very underrated by our fan base in terms of. I mean, Alfie Jones, when we had that near promotion season when we finished 7th, was outstanding, but last season just didn't. Yeah. We just didn't cope with it. And Macketh, for his versatility, was a good player, a 6, 7 out of 10 every week, but I just don't think they would fit into the team that we've got now with the players in. So, it was, I think, again, a good bit of business moving them on, to be honest.
Okay. Let's pick out a few more. We won't go through the whole list. We got to talk about João Pedro, though, Matty.
Yeah. I think we were in the Pedro fan club, weren't we, on here last year?
You definitely were.
I think we were, and I think, you know what? He was another player that kind of, wear his heart on his sleeve type player. He gave everything for us. I think, again, he was a fan's favourite. He did relatively well in a very poor team. For I don't know how many goals he got in the end, but something like 7 or 8, which was quite good for us last season. But yeah, again, probably the age, and I just don't think he'd probably fit into the system that we're playing at the moment, which is all about being a bit more direct and energy. I think he wouldn't been able to cope with that, I don't think. So it's a shame to see him go, because he did contribute a lot, and I think the fans was kind of sad to see him go. But yeah, again, probably needed to move on, I think, just for the best.
Okay. And then to both of you, any players on there we haven't mentioned that you would have liked to have kept or given maybe another year or a bit more of a chance to? I mean, Simons, we've got Simons on there, Mellum, Sinic, Amrabat at the age of 38, yeah.
Just an experience.
Yeah, I think Simons is probably the one that's probably a bit like. I think he started last season quite well in that holding midfield player, and then obviously when Sellers came in, he just didn't fancy him at all. So I suppose he might be one that we might think about in the future, that we think, oh, do you know what, maybe we could have kept him, but he's gone to League One. That's probably where he needs to go for his development, because he's not maybe quite up there in terms of the Championship at the moment. He might come back later on, but he would be the only one it might have been a long-term investment for us to kind of bed him into this team a bit more and see how he goes. But I think looking down at that list, Mark, I don't think there's any on there that I would be that I'm majorly upset about losing. Yeah, the Maccas, the Joneses, because they've been here for so long, are disappointing. But the players that we've brought in under the embargo are better. They seem to be a lot better. And I know we're after a couple of other players, aren't we, in the window as well, by the looks of it. So yeah, I think the squad is in a better place now than it was at the beginning of last season. I mean, crikey, we had Chris Badir up front, who was our Jack.
Don't get him started on Chris Badir. I'm not having any of that again. All right.
But he was our strike force. He was our main striker last season.
Okay.
Crikey, McBurnie is a Rolls Royce compared to a Morris Minor.
Okay. Right, brilliant. And if you've got, you can go watch the back where Sky Blues walk, because on yesterday's podcast, all our Coventry fans wanted to talk about was they need a defender, and of course they want Hughes. And I stuck up for you. I said he's not for sale. He's not going to go. I said you could give him 50 million, but they can't spend it, so it doesn't matter. So there you are. I was in your corner. Thank you.
Swapping for Radoni. Well, swapping for Radoni, no problem.
Swapping for Lampard, right? You could probably still do a job in that midfield, couldn't he? Right, last section then is about the whole shirt. Let's have a quick scan of it, so you want to know what it looks like by now. Mixed views on this one. There's not much you can do with a whole shirt these days, but Jack, where do you stand on this being in your top 3 of all time?
I don't know. I think home whole shirts are just simple. Move on to the away shirts, you get a different level. But yeah, I don't mind the prints on the shoulders and the amber. It's not too dissimilar from the away shirt, the plain amber shirt, and it's just added a few prints on the shoulders. I'm going to get this one this season because I do like the away shirt, but I don't think it's a typical Hull City shirt. So just for Hull City reasons, I'm going to get this away home shirt. But it's decent. I wouldn't say it's the best. I wouldn't say it's the worst. Just tip it right in the middle of my table.
Okay, Matty.
I think this is one that's going to be a grower. I think when it first came out and people saw it, I think they were a bit like, oh, it's a bit, oh god, it's not that great. But seeing it yesterday and how it was matched up with the shorts and the socks, it actually looked quite smart. So I don't think it's in my top three. I'm not going to put it in the top three, but I'm not too disappointed. I still like it. I still think it's great. I still think it looks good for us. What else can you do with black and amber? But apart from the stripes, it's nice to go with something a little bit different, which we have done for the last few seasons. So, and I think it's a bit of a throwback to our old Tiger stripes ones back in the 90s. It pays homage to that a little bit. So I'm quite happy with that. Yeah.
Okay. Ben's not here. We can't ask him, but I'm going to vouch he doesn't like it. We'll
He don't get a vote. He's not here.
Okay.
Well, he's been begging for the shirts ever since pre-season. So.
Yeah, he has. Yeah,
it's true.
On Twitter.
I think he likes them both because I follow him on. I follow his Twitter and his Instagram. So.
Right, Brill. Listen, thank you very much for watching. We really appreciate all the love we're getting. We've got a target to get to 500 subs by the end of the year. That'd be absolutely massive if we can make that. So please press the sub button if you haven't done so already. Join us next week where we are looking at the away shirts. We're also looking at the ins and talking about some of the players that we're going to get to know a little bit more in detail this season. And of course, we're going to review the Blackburn game as well. So join us all for that in 7 days' time. Have a great weekend. The good times are back at Hull City. We're all here for it. See you next week.